This is why I'm saying that I don't have time to do things. I don't have time to do that. People are saying take your time. I don't have time to make my build. I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to do this. I'm running out of time. That's why I've been saying I've been running out of time a lot. I've been hurrying up and I'm trying to do this and trying to do that. This is why I don't have time. So I'm so pushy and I'm so rushy. I'm trying to get this done. Trying to get this done. That's why I have no time to do anything. What is going on, guys? My name is Corey. I'm only in 1987 Roxy. It's been a spot. She's been a spot. And I own a Mustang. That's going to be a charming club. I hope you guys enjoy the 2 car shows that I just uploaded. I have a lot to talk to you about today. And today is not really it's another talking video, so you don't want to listen to the talking. You can click off this video, but this video is going to be very deep. And it's going to be unedited. So whatever I say goes this goes all the way back. Well, first let me tell you about which will lead you till today. But the fact is all the way back to the backstory and to where we got. So to where we are at today. Sorry. Speech. Alright, so it goes back. You gotta think back when. Alright, thinking back at 2010. Going back to 2004, I was in high school, and I liked working on cars. Well, not working on cars per se, but there was a class. Shout out to my teacher at the time, Mr. Diabolo. My other friend Jake, which you've seen in a couple videos, we both had the same class. Like when he was shorter than me. I was building the small engines. I was learning how to do the painting and buffing and sanding and breaking down all this stuff. Like working on small engines. It was called small engine repair. It's just working on sides of body working cars, like lawnmower, tractor, something like that. Just turned to working with that. And I liked it, so I was like, you know what? On such a short notice, I decided, I was like, let me go and try to take this to the next level. So I applied at University Technical Institute, which is why I showed you that book a couple of videos ago, months ago. And I was full-fledged into doing it. It was such a short notice that I just hopped in. I was like, let me just do that. So I went into the store, put my application down, did the fast work, did all the things, did everything I needed to do. I'm here, just fresh out of high school. It's time to get my life on track. Let's go. Now listen, back then, quote unquote, late bloomer. Now I didn't understand what that meant, but I was always told that I was a late bloomer. I had no idea what that meant. It took me a couple years to figure out what that meant. Make sure you keep that in mind. Keep that, like I said, in mind, because it's tied into what's going on later on. Anyway, back to So I'm in UTI and I'm walking in for the first day. It was as I'm walking in and I'm trying to pick up my first day, and I'm looking and I see, I'm seeing what was seen from when I took the tour around the entire school, and I seen the engines and what they're going, and at the time this is where LS1s were the hottest thing on the block. Now we're LT5s. What I don't understand, LT5s was from 93 to 97, and then 98 was LS1. So there's LTs, the LT1, LT4, and LT5 here, and then we go into the LSs, and then we go back to the LTs. The LS is right here, so these are the LTs and these are the LTs. Like, I've always wanted to know what was going on with that, but anyway, that's besides the point. So I'm putting in my I'm in my first class, and it was pretty cool. My best teacher, well, it was a couple of months went on. My best teacher that I've ever had was Mr. Kelly. He had this he had this eye, right? There was one eye that was this way, and there was one eye that went this way. He said something about, like, if you're doing good and you're good with your grades and everything else, look at you with this eye. If you're going a little strange on me and you're going all weird and you're failing with the classes and you don't care or something's up, I'm gonna look at you with this eye. And he, excuse my language, he greeted us as soon as he came in. I was like, how the fuck is everybody? How was your fucking weekend? Did anybody get laid? It was funny how somebody just came in with an intro like that, because you would expect that a teacher would have a certain professional level, but when he came in like that, it was breaking in the ease, just letting you know, like, hey, I'm a human just like you are. I have needs just like you are. I see life the way that you see life. I'm just at a higher level than what you are, but I'm just like you. We both bleed blood. I'm like, it's just as real as ever, and I admire that, and I love that about him. And it was one thing that we had done, which is funny, which I was understanding about current, electrical current through an alternator. So he got all of us together, all of us to hold hands. It was like a big group of 30, 35, and we was all holding hands. And it was something that he made the alternator make a full rotation. First, he asked us if anybody has any heart problems or allergic to anything or any health concerns concerned with like the heart and shock and static electricity, and nobody had a problem. We all volunteered and we all said we want to do it. And through 35 people, it's crazy. With one alternator turn, we're all like, because you can feel your veins like twitching and like you can feel it moving by the static electricity, and it was so astounding. And I never thought that, that would be a way of actually teaching somebody, and that actually got through to me. And see, it's 2020, and I could still remember that from 2015, like as if it was yesterday. Things like that is what I remember and how I learned, by actually seeing something and actually doing it. But like I said, late bloomer, I didn't understand that at the time. You'll hear me saying you will hear me say late bloomers quite frequently in here. So went to a Pacific class after that, because I passed this class, but then I went into electrical class, and then electrical class didn't go too well. So the first time I had failed out, right? I had failed out, and I was to retake the class again. So after those 30 days, I retook that class again, and trying to figure out what am I missing, what am I doing wrong. I went for extra help. I did like that after school program. I went and did that, and still wasn't no good. Still wasn't no good. And then I fell out of it. I fell out again, and I had to take a couple of months absence. As I was still like periodically like talking to teachers and whatnot, but I had to. There's just like a thing where you have to stay away for a certain amount of time. It's like a suspension period, and I was still in school, but it was complicated. It's complicated to explain. That part I don't remember fully because I do remember me going to classes though, but I don't know. I don't remember that. And then the third time I failed, and I failed out of UTI, period, for good. I was, at the time, I was completely devastated because I felt like a failure. I didn't feel like, I didn't feel like I was able to go on. I thought like I was going to admit to nothing in life. So then I went on to the workforce, and I worked at this one food store. I was there for a pretty good time, pretty good long time. Actually, I want to go outside and talk. I want to go outside and just talk. So, as time goes on, and I'm like, I felt out, and I'm working at the workforce, I'm like, still kind of beat up, but time moves on. So, moving on with life and moving on with the way things are going, and I'm working and I'm working. And I stumbled across, this time is 2000, what year? I'm trying to think what year. The first one was 2012, and I was with this one girl. Her name was Annie. I won't give last names. And we were talking, and she was telling me about, like, don't you want to become great? Don't you want to be a successful person and always strive to be successful and stuff like that? So I took it upon myself. I wanted to. I'm at a certain age, and I'm like, something has to give, and I'm constantly trying to improve myself. I got to do better. So I was thinking about going into the military, actually the Navy at the time, and I was like, maybe this is what I meant to do. So I talked to a couple of recruiters, and he told me about all the recruiting classes, and he told me about everything about what what people do in the Navy, and it sounded pretty great. I mean, I don't know if this camera's focusing on me. Here. I don't think the camera was really looking at me per se, and I was like, I want to be a better person, you know, and standing up for my country, awesome, yeah, like yeah. But then I really looked into it, and I was like I was asking around. You can all like you. I wanted to hear more than just one story. I wanted to talk to some people who were there. Some people that are young, some people that are old, and in between. I wanted to get various things before I come to the conclusion that I want to go to the Navy. So I did ask around. I asked like a couple of people, and I asked what they were saying. The older, I mean, the younger people was like, yeah, go and do that. Well, most of them. Some of them were like, man, it's not all what it's cracked up to be, and I didn't know what to expect. So that's when I went to the older generation, and I've noticed there was a couple of homeless people who are veterans who are in the Army, in the Navy, in the Marines, and I'm like, okay, you guys fought for this country, and why are you guys homeless? Why doesn't government do something? I know that there's like a program or something. However, I don't understand if there's like a program. Why is there still are veterans that are out there on the streets? And I don't understand because my honest opinion, football players, basketball players, they're all overpaid. What I believe what should happen, our vets, it should be turned around. Our vets should be getting that type of money, getting 1 point something $1 million and stuff, because they put our lives on the line for us. If they didn't put our lives, well, yeah, they put their lives on the line for us. There would be no football. There would be no basketball. There would be no this. There would be no this. There would be no croquet. There would be nothing if it wasn't for them, because the enemy could have came over and did everything and then turned this into some type of slavery thing again. And without them, like, we wouldn't be in the position where we are today. That's why I have my flags up there, and I try to incorporate as much as a flag that I can without. If I was getting monetized, I don't know how much that would play, and hopefully in my future, whenever I do get monetized, that they won't demonetize that, because out of the respect for our soldiers, I'm trying to speak as a whole. To the fact of our soldiers, I guess why I respect them to the highest. And every time I see one, I always shake their hand, let them know I appreciate their service. Even the officers. Obviously, there's going to be some parts of this video that's going to be edited. And that's what I came to the conclusion. I was like, maybe me putting my life on the line. I mean, I would, if it came down to it, I would die for this country. But I have nothing to show for myself. Pay attention to what that'll be coming up later in the video regarding about the car that's behind you, literally behind you. I was like, maybe that's not for me, and like I still shake their hands. I still say I appreciate your services to the cops, well, officers, and to like lieutenants and the workforce, well, not workforce, task force, and everybody else. I still put their respect on high, so as so to speak. And then later on, it was 2013, I came across another young woman by the name of Zena, and she was in college. She was in college for her pre-med. Now, this is where things really made me wake up to what I want to do in life. So she was going for pre-med. She was doing she was like, what they do is they go to different campsites, regardless if it's like military sites or any type of sites. There, you go there providing medical attention, food services, like whatever you can to make sure that you help the person that's sick or that's in need. And I really love that. I really love that. At the time, I was a dancer at the time, and I wanted to see if I can try to incorporate dancing, because I did a couple of shows. I did some stuff at Westchester University. I did with my friend Nash way back when. I did a lot. See if I can try to incorporate it, but that didn't work out. That's besides the point. I might explain that on my dancing channel whenever I can find a damn password so I can put it in there and I can explain to that point of view. But That's besides the point. But anyway, so I took it upon myself. I was like, I want to go into college. I want to do the same thing. I want to go around. I want to save lives. Save lives is the number one thing that I've always wanted to do for somebody. Always wanted to help somebody who was less fortunate to have what I have. It was always who's struggling just to have a life. Somebody who have a lot worse than what I do, and that's one of the things that I wanted to go and put. And so I took forth the effort, and I did the fast one again, and I wanted to do better, and I wanted to help the people who were not being helped. I wanted to give my heart to them. I wanted to give my full unconditional heart to them and help them out any way that I can. So I went into college. So I was in college for a bit. Sadly, I failed out. I'll explain to you why. When it comes time for hands-on things, and again, me being a late bloomer, I can understand visuals and I can understand images, but for some reason, when it comes time for a pencil and a piece of paper, I don't quite get it, which is why back in UTI, I didn't quite get it when I was in the circuitry class, which is the class that I found out on. I didn't understand, like, it's like a piece of, even though it might seem simple to others, but I didn't learn that way. I learned a lot differently than my other peers. So sociology is one of my favorite subjects, because I can sit there and talk for hours about sociology and third world countries and talk about all that stuff. It's just so much that I can just talk about. I love sociology, and I love psychology as well. Psychology, I love things that can stimulate and tease the mind. I like my mind being challenged. There's just something about my mind being challenged that I love. And at the time, she was also a woman who challenged my mind, and I really love that. Not all men are about one thing. Just letting you know, I'm all about what's up here first and foremost. I like a person who can challenge me mentally, physically, emotionally. Just somebody who could just challenge me. Period. So I went to college, and I fell out because what was it? There was some class. I can't think of the class. Oh, no! I didn't fail out. I had to drop out. I had to drop out because I did not have money at the time. I was running out of money. College is not cheap. I was buying a bunch of books. I'm gonna show you. Like I was saying, as you can see, there was a lot of, when I was going to class. I was trying to learn how to speak Puerto Rican too as well. Psychology was one of my favorite subjects. There was not too money involved. Like, I didn't have that much money, and books were not cheap. So, like I said, there was a couple of books that I had seen, and not seen. I can't find the rest of them, but that's like the remainder of the books that were there. There was more things there. It's so peaceful out here. Hear the birds? Yeah, it's so beautiful out here. Part of my channel does say life adventures, you know. It does incorporate stuff like this. So whenever I can get a chance when I can actually drive, I can actually drive up to some mountains and stuff like that. It does say life adventures at the end. So yeah, I was going to college for that, and I'm like, what's like, I wanted to help others. I wanted to inspire other people to help others mean more. You can just be more than a basketball player or a football player. There's more to life than just that. There's more to life than just going to the military. You can help out in other ways. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do. Fortunately, I didn't, like I said, I fell out of that. And again, feeling like a failure kicked me right. I don't know, why do I keep saying failed out? I didn't feel that I had to drop out. And like I said, well, I did feel like a failure because I felt like a failure because I wasn't able to keep up with the books. Plus, I was paying car insurance and stuff like that. I was trying to get a second job, but every time I was trying to get a second job, I kept denying it. I don't know why. I kept saying we have other applications on file at this time, and we'll contact you when we need you. And that's all that they say. Day in and day out. And again and again and again and again. I feel like I'm high up right now. Again and again and again and again and again. I didn't understand what was going on, so I was like, something going on. I took a look into it. So I took a look into it, and because I didn't have that much job experience, I think. And I'm like, how can I get experience if nobody's going to give me the chance out here to get experience? Because my one job for like 5 to 6 years, and I was like doing a cart pusher bagger. I did everything in that store: cart pusher bagger. I was working in the frozen department. I was working in the dairy department. I worked everywhere in that store. I worked in the beef department for a little bit. It was like a beef burger. I still got some experience learning how to make beef department. Let me get down from there. My butt started hurting.